wait, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do if you can't? Hey guys, listen, my laptop decided to just turn itself off. I've been having some madness the last few weeks, but we are talking to you today, guys, about Jarette and Iyanna. I had a clip loaded and everything, and my laptop decided to turn off. I don't know what's going on. I've been having problems the last few weeks about it, but don't worry. We're gonna be back in a second or two. Listen, I'm looking too nice right now. Y'all gotta give me my compliments, okay? Before we start this live, make sure you guys like it, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. Listen, it's about to get manic because we're about to prove who is right or wrong. Is it Iyanna? Is it Jarette? Who's lying? Because somebody's telling the truth. Okay, all right, and there's probably some stuff in between that time, right? So if you haven't been following me, last night we did a live. We were talking about Iyanna, talking about Jarette's situation. And what was so interesting was that Iyanna also came on to the channel and it was an impromptu interview, right? I had no clue. I had no, prior knowledge of the situation. I just knew that she was here. Let's ask her some questions, right? So I'm not aware of what Jarette's about to say in his particular situation. I'm not sure what Jarette's going to come out with. We just know that he's gonna say some stuff after. All right. Now, so as this situation starts to happen, and I'm gonna come back onto my normal screen because there we go. Ooh, listen, I've been having some craziness with this internet and my laptop, boy. I've been even mad. Oh, baby, look at this. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. All right. So, so literally, the situation with Jarette, Iyanna, and this situation. Iyanna came on our platform. She shared some of her story. She gave us a deep insight, and there was questions that were asked by myself, which, if had not been asked, and I'm gonna play the clip for you guys in a second too. If it had not been asked, we would be questioning maybe some of her truth. But the reality is, I asked this without knowing anything about Jarette, what he had gone through. She answered the questions before, not knowing what I was going to ask. And actually, on the interview, I was about to say cheerio, goodbye. I was about to say, listen, darling, your time is to go. Your time is up because I can see that you're a little bit tired. You're looking like you want to go. You know what I'm saying to you? So I was ready to let her go. And then it just inspiration hit, like, let's ask her a question. You know what I mean? So when I asked her the question, that's what leads to this. I call it prophecy, this prophesying of what somebody is about to do. And very surely, the person does exactly what they said they were going to do. So Iyanna was on point about what he's going to do, which was deflect from the actual truth. But we're gonna break it all the way down. Okay, we're gonna break it all the way down. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like it, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there are hot. Let's get into this. I don't waste much time. Here's a little rewind of what happened the day before. Okay, let's just play this little clip here, baby. All right. Let's say he comes out and denies it.
He can't deny it. There's no way he can't deny it. What he can do is he'll probably I know exactly what situation he's probably gonna bring up. And it makes me sad that he's gonna do that. But I mean I get it. He feels like he has to defend himself. And that's okay. That's okay. But he's not gonna deny it. He's gonna just try to tell his part of it. And he'll deflect. That's exactly what it is. He'll deflect. And I mean, again, like I get it. He's in a defensive mode. But I don't like that he's gonna use this situation against me because it's just.
What situation? I don't know what situation are you talking about, baby. Now pause it right here. Okay, let's just pause it right here. Let's pause it right so we understand something, right? At this point, right, just before that question, I'm literally about to and I probably should have played it from that point. I literally say, well, Iyanna's been good having you. We appreciate your time, da da da. And then I go to ask another question, right? And I literally go to ask another question, but I was just about to let her go, right? And so I asked this question and I say, what if he denies it? Because I'm like, yo, if you know anything about these type of situations, people be denying a whole lot of stuff. Okay. People don't want to be admitting something. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself, here, even if there's evidence, people have lied to they are in the grave. So what happens like, what's the insurance policy if he says that didn't happen? So I was asking it in a way almost to get an insurance policy, because if he says no, how do we prove that this thing actually happened? So when I'm asking her, that's what I'm thinking in my head, right? So as I ask, obviously, look, if he denies it, what go on, right? You tell me what you think, right? And so when she goes on to say, well, he's not going to deny it, but he's going to deflect. I'm going to play you the clip of what, the conversation that he had. He did exactly the same thing she said. He accepted the fact that he brought the girls to the house because he couldn't deny it, because there are photos, right? Apparently there was a photo, right, of her in his t-shirt or whatever. And so the girl was at the house, but there was no kissing, there was no groping, there was just them drinking. So why didn't the girl just lie all the way out and say, look, we had sex too? Yeah. Why didn't the girl just lie and say, do you know what? Let me be honest with you, we had sex, we kissed, it was great, da 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 da. But she wants to lie about kissing you and groping, and you groping her, or her groping you. Right? So I'm confused. So why is she only gonna lie to that point? Why not go to the further reaches? Why not go deeper? Why not take it all the way? Right? It's gonna be your word against her word. And so she sent this email to your missus. Yeah. So clearly, I don't believe that you slept with her, because the girl would have said it. She didn't say you slept with her. She told us what it was. It was kissing and it was groping. All right. And like you both confirmed, and we're going to play the clip so you can see it. Both of you confirmed, she realized she had a girl or a wife. You then heard her say she had a wife as well. Blah, blah, blah. Boom. End of the situation. Right. But let's say it was just that. Let's say Jarette was right. Why then would the next thing that comes out your mouth be about how you wanna out her for pretty much quote unquote cheating? Which some people who don't necessarily follow me all the way got a little bit angry because I put a title of did Iyanna cheat with a question mark because they can't read. But anyway, but why then would you then add the story about her cheating? Now that's the insurance policy. Because bearing in mind, at this point, right, I asked her earlier on, did you cheat? I asked her, did you cheat? I'm asking her because I'm like, look, before he says anything, like, did you cheat? Let's get it out the way, because you about to expose him for cheating. Did you cheat? Because if you come out and talk about he cheated, then you're going to be in problems, right? So I then ask her that question. Then I go on, let me come up later on and say, okay, great. What is the situation that you're saying he could potentially get into? Let's play a little clip and you'll see what we discussed.
Oh my God.
What situation is he going to use against you, baby?
When we first got married, I went out with some women I had just met, but I felt, and see, once again, I relinquished trust way too quickly, but I felt like I thought every woman lived by like girl code. Like if you come together, you leave together. If you go to the bathroom, you make sure that they're safe. But these women didn't live by that exact code. And we were all drinking, and I sometimes, and this is why I don't drink. This is why I don't like to drink often, because I know sometimes I have a hard time like understanding, like, okay, now is when you stop. And I learned this in college. It was bad. I used to black out all the time, I thought it was normal because I used to do it so often. People are like, oh, that's not normal. And I'm like, what? And that's when I just learned to stop drinking. But we were out, and I was really just keeping up with everybody else. Everybody else was like, oh, I'm going to go to drink. I'm like, oh, yeah, get me one too. And I blacked out. And within an hour, I was at a random bar with some random guy, and I came to. And I remember yelling at this man, "No, I'm married." But I remember him just following me around a lot. And at around like 2:30 in the morning, Jared gets off of work and he's like, "Iyanna, I'm coming to pick you up." And I made sure I actually looked at these text messages yesterday because I was downward spiraling. And he's like, "Iyanna, I'm coming to get you." And I was like, "Okay, okay." But I remember trying to send him my location, but I ended up sending him his contact information, and that's just like how drunk I was. But when he came to get me, this guy had the nerve to say like, "Oh no, bro, she's good." And I'm surprised Jared didn't punch him in the face then. But Jared was like, "All right, we gotta go." And at this point, I'm belligerently drunk, like
Mm.
belligerently drunk. And I remember saying, "Oh, wasn't it nice that that guy was checking on me?" And Jared looked at me like, "I don't know if you don't shut the fuck up." And then and then I was like, "Oh, I need to check on the girls." And then he got even more upset with me. He was like, "Why are you checking on these women who aren't checking on you?" And then I blacked out again. But the next morning, I woke up and the shower curtain was broken because apparently I had fallen into the tub. Like it was just a hot ass mess. And Jared was like, "Iyanna, you don't know what was happening with you and this guy." And I was like, "No, nothing happened. Like I know nothing happened." Because I remember pushing him off, saying, "No, I'm married. I'm married." And I remember telling him like, "I'm also concerned about my behavior too. I never want to repeat," and I never repeated it again. But I was like, "I never want to repeat that again." But I realized in retrospect, me expressing how concerned I also was made him feel like he
Something's mad going on.
well, not even that, he felt invalidated and like I shut him down. And
Oh.
but the weird part is I went and I looked back at our text messages and he texted me saying like, "I just need last night to never happen again." And I remember in the text message that I saw it and I said, "That will never happen again. I promise you this is not a repeated behavior. That was a one-time incident. I will never drink that much again. I'm a tiny person. I have to just be honest about that." Um and then he sent me a kissy face. But then he didn't bring it up again until a year later when I asked for a divorce and we were in I asked my
Mm.
therapist for a couple more sessions and I said I just want to make sure like we have some closing out sessions, make sure we're coping well, making sure, everything's good. And that's when he decided to bring it up and I was very confused and I was like, "Why are you bringing this up a year later?" He was like, "Well, you shut me down. I never want to talk about it again." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, I
Let me be very clear. Okay, let me be very clear. And I'm gonna play his clip as well. So we're gonna go through his video breakdown, right? But in his video breakdown, I want you to pay attention. Listen to what he says. Nothing he says points to her cheating. Let me tell you why. First and foremost, in his breakdown, he tells us that look, he had her location, so he knew where she was, right? Number two, you had a friend of her, a friend of yours, Jarette, before, and then they split apart, and it was just them two, right? Okay, it was just them two. Then you go to pick her up at the club, not at no one's house, no one's home, but at the club. Okay, as they're coming down the stairs, you see him holding her hand. Now, I don't know about you, but that ain't cheating. Okay, I don't know about you. Okay, but that ain't cheating. Okay, not even close. Now, that might be a little bit of a violation, and that might be something that's a boundary issue. But in terms of cheating, sir, come on, look, come on. I don't want to be trying to downplay how you feel about a situation. I'm not saying that it might not have been a little bit scary, but what you're not gonna do is act as if that was a cheating. That wasn't a cheating. So when you told your story about her and what she had gone through and what you saw, you had her location. Okay, she was with a friend and they split, which is exactly what she said. And then you found her at the stairs, coming down the stairs, and him holding her hand. Nothing else. Did you see makeup smudges on him? Did you see lipstick on him? Did you smell his cologne on her or something? Were her panties down her ankles? Like, what was there that made you feel that there is reasonable doubt that you tried to make the story as if she cheat, and it's very clever because he doesn't call her out for cheating straight away. He kind of infers it so that you have to make this kind of jump yourself. No, 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 no. Let's not do that. I know exactly where that comes from. I can tell you where exactly comes from. I've been the same way. Okay. I talk about dark arts on this channel. You know, I've lived a few lives in the one. Okay. That is a part of the manipulation, right? And that usually comes when you are trying to equal the playing field. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background to make you understand this. Where he's coming from, which is a church background, right? He's coming from a place where your parents are pastors or your dad's a pastor. A lot of times those kids have to always perform and they always have to put on a good front. They're not allowed to be bad. They're not allowed to have a bad moment. They're not allowed to be out of place. They're not allowed to be off point, right? Okay. So if you're off point, right, then you get called out as a Christian, a pastor's kid. So what happens to that child is they learn how to put on a facade and an illusion of them always being good. But the problem with that is if you have to do it for a very long time, what happens is whenever you're wrong, you find it very difficult to admit you're wrong, because not only are you going to be wrong just to your parents, you're going to be wrong to the whole church, the whole community. You're going to have people in your business. So it becomes very difficult actually admitting your wrongs and being accountable for what you do, because you're going to have to be accountable to the whole community rather than just being accountable to your dad or to a mom or whatever, right? So that creates the inability to really take full accountability. So what happens is you learn how to deflect, you learn how to manipulate, you learn how to twist the truth, you know how to be economic with the truth, you know how to say just enough, not to lie, but just enough to be, just enough for you to just grapple onto, right? So I'm just kind of giving that perspective. But let's break down his video, because we gonna get a better perspective of that situation. Because remember also, Iyanna also let us know a little bit about his background in terms of the communicational styles that he has with even his parents and how he shuts down and a failure to process. So let's get into what he was talking about. Shout out to this video by Romance TV. I want to shout them out as well. Romance TV. They managed to capture his live last night. Jarette was on live, and he was talking about his the situation. So we've managed to bring it to you guys so we can analyze it, break it down. Shout out again to Romance TV again. All right, cool. Let's break this down all the way.
So I'm gonna keep this brief. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I've been going back and forth about funny as hell. I've been going back and forth on how I was gonna address this. Everything that happened within the past 24 hours, 28 hours, whatever, however long it's been. It's been a crazy ass past few hours, man. And I sat and I talked to a lot of people. I prayed and I just asked God to give me the strength, to give me the words to say, because this is just some crazy stuff, man. And I'm gonna be full transparent with y'all. I'm over here minding my business, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to live life, move on, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be 100% transparent. And then this gonna be the only time y'all hear me say something about this, about all this, and then that's gonna be that. You feel me? So yes, yesterday morning, I woke up to a slew of text messages, DMs, comments, all type of shit, talking about I'm a cheater. So, of course, everything just caught me off guard. So I'm like, where's all this coming from? But there was kind of a situation that I put myself in. I didn't cheat, but there was a situation where I did put myself in. And I'm gonna just read y'all this email that.
All right, just quickly pause it. Just I want to supply some more evidence to the table. Remember when we spoke to? Oh, man, I wish I remember where it was exactly where Iyanna was speaking about this. She said that the thing about Jarette is he likes to trail the gray area, right? He likes to be in just on the edge, right? So, and it's very funny because actually this is exactly what he does here. So instead of admitting that he cheated, he goes, "I'm gonna make it so it's just about blurry enough that you can't call it cheat, that you're not going to necessarily call it cheating, but it was a mistake," right? And that's the same thing here. So he doesn't completely deny it, not completely. He going to accept part of it and then go, but it wasn't cheating. You know, listen, there was a part of it. And it's quite interesting it's quite interesting how he toes that line on purpose. So again, it's like, I'm not the worst, I'm not the best, but I, look, I have my faults, but I didn't cheat. But the reality was, sir, the woman's email was saying what you need. Okay, it said what you need. Okay, all right, let's get back into it.
That y'all heard about, and yes, I still have the receipts. So this email goes, it's dated March 8th, 2022. So this email goes, hey, this is unfortunate to send you, but I just wanted to let you know that a few weeks ago, I met Jarette at Tunnel. He ended up inviting me and my friends back to his place, which we later on found out he did not live at alone. We did kiss and there was some touching in private places, but there was no sex. I honestly have gone back and forth about whether or not to mention this at all, but I just feel like it isn't fair to you, to not know. I'll go into details if you want, but I just have to clear my conscience and reach out and tell you what your husband is doing. So, that night, I was out. The show had already came out, you know what I'm saying? We was out partying, me and my friends, celebrating the show, celebrating me and everything, like just having a good ass time. And we're leaving the last spot, leaving Tunnel, and we decided to go back and finish partying and drinking at my house. At the time, me and my ex-wife, she was at her place because she didn't want to watch the show together. So that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But these women, they came back. And
now, can we just pause it here first and foremost? What is the reason for why he invited these girls back to his house? Can we just first and foremost, let's bring that up. Why the hell are you inviting these girls to your house in the first place? Right? Because let me give it just a little bit of understanding here. When we talk about dark arts, right? One of the things about dark arts is the gray area, right? The gray area is neither black nor white. It's an area where it can go either way, right? You can't hold me down 100% to this, right? So if I invite girls to my house, it's a gray area, right? Although I haven't cheated, but it is a boundary breaking, right? So if you notice this, right? But what is my reasoning for inviting these girls to my house? He never mentioned, right? Why would you invite them to your house? You said Iyanna didn't want to come and watch the show with you, but why did you invite the girls to your house? Because you was out and about, but why did you go home with them? What was the reason for going home with these girls? Can you be honest? Number two, were you attracted to these girls? Right? Were they good looking to you? No, it's all important, it's all important. Good looking girl to you is all important, right? So again, like, reasoning hasn't even been added as to why you invite these girls to the house. You just told us, oh, the girls came to the house. No, why did you invite them? What was the reasoning? What were you looking for? What was the purpose of them coming to the house with you? I didn't hear that. Maybe I need to go back and let me just make sure. I don't want to speak prematurely. I'm just going to go back 30 seconds, make sure I heard what I heard,
But I just have to clear my conscience and reach out and tell you what your husband is doing. So, that night, I was out. The show had already came out, you know what I'm saying? We was out partying, me and my friends, celebrating the show, celebrating me and everything, like just having a good ass time. And we're leaving the last spot, leaving Tunnel, and we decided to go back and finish partying and drinking at my house.
Pause. Now, you went out and you wanted to, the reason why he invited these girls was because he wanted to finish off the party back at his house. Why didn't you invite one of your boys? Why didn't you invite more of your boys? Right? Why don't you call a couple of your boys and say, bro, man, them, I beg you come over. We're going to chill and vibe. I don't want to be alone. Why didn't you invite them over, sir? Why did you go home alone with these two gal? Right? Because you want to finish a party at your house. What party did you want to finish? No, can we deep this? What party did you want to finish? You've drank your drink at the bar, you've done up, it's finished, it's done. All right, cool.
At the time, me and my ex-wife, she was at her place because she didn't want to watch the show together. So that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But these women, they came back, and me being the nice person that I am, you know what I'm saying, I offered them, you know, I had like, yeah, shit, we all gonna drink.
Now pause. I really want to pause it. I want you to pay attention. I'm gonna just listen to this. Something that Iyanna said. Oh man, I wish I had everything of my thing. What she said, when I asked her about the potential of why, she's what potential she saw in Jarette. One of the things that she actually said was about his niceness. Okay, all right, his niceness. And she said that was the reason why some of the part of the potential of him. Right now, this is really important because the key word I like to focus on here is his niceness, which is actually whenever any woman or man tells you they're nice, they usually are manipulative. Sorry to say, I know some of you don't like to hear it. I think I found it. Let me see if I can find a clip for you guys and see if I can get it. You know, I think whenever you hear someone say something about niceness, you always have to pay attention and say you got some manipulative tendencies. Because if you're kind, it's a state of quality. Being nice usually is inadvertently for an exchange, right? So you hear me say on this channel all the time, nice versus good, two different things. Niceness comes with manipulation, right? And so when he says he's a nice guy, right? What you hear you hear some men like this crying about it, saying, I'm nice, no girls want me, Negro, because you're not kind, you're nice. Like you expect there to be a return because you're nice. You expect because you're being nice, you expect there to be something returned to you, right? That's the biggest issue. You got a silent expectation that comes with it. Okay, there's a silent expectation that comes underneath it. So, you gotta be careful of that. In that instance as well. Let me see if I can find a clip for you guys as well. Beautiful. I think I found it. Yeah, I've got it. I've got it for you guys. I'll play the clip for you guys as to what she said, and then we'll come back onto this clip just so you can hear it again.
Oh, I hate to smell their own shit. Forget they have shit.
It's not easy. Yeah. So the potential you saw in Jarette, I want to know what potential you saw in Jarette, because we can't see that because the show doesn't show us that. No. I mean, like, the show doesn't show us that. That's what I mean. Sorry, I didn't mean like a shade. Like, we can't see it because of the show. The show doesn't show us that. So I'm not saying that either. I'm saying the show doesn't show us that. So what were you seeing as potential? I didn't mean that shade, Jarette, just in case. But my shade was up. But what did you see as potential? That's what we'll know.
There's actually a really he's a really kind man, and if someone really does need him, like, he'll go for it, and he'll give his all for that. I mean, clearly not for me, but like for his friends, for his family. Like, he really is like a very giving person, and he's a little bit too lenient when it comes to, because people will literally stab him, and like he's still like such a forgiving person. He has a really, I think it's an attachment issue kind of thing, but he has a really hard time like letting it go. But I think that also comes from his heart. I mean, at the end of the day, like
Now, let me be very frank and very real with you, okay? All right, let me just be frank and very real with you. That this situation here, when we say about being very kind, nice, he's a forgiving person, right? It's interesting because his aspect of being nice, where he quotes himself and says, "I'm such a nice person." His nicety is a shroud. Right? It's a shroud. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying by this. When I was much younger, right? You thought your niceness deserved something back in return. So if you were being nice to a girl, you expected the girl then to like you because you're being nice to her. You didn't understand how relationship dynamics worked when you were much younger, right? And so you would get frustrated when your niceness did not will bring the return on investment. And then what happens is you start using your niceness as a way of differentiating yourself from the other guys. So you hear it on the manosphere talking about it. All these girls always want Pookie and Ray Rays. What they're doing is what we did in school times when you were saying, I'm a nice guy. Why don't the girls like the nice guys? They only like the bad boys. But the reality is, Of course, we're not in school anymore and people are much more mature. But the reality is, what you're saying is, my niceness should buy you, without really understanding the schematics and the schemes and how relationship systems actually work, how people find each other, how people find other people attractive. And so very similar. What happens is people then start using the niceness as a facade, and it creates well, I'm a nice guy, I will never do you dirty. Right. And you often hear it in the language and the lingo they kind of speak. But underneath that, because they fail to be able to express how they truly feel, because they have a failure to because they fail to be able to voice out what they actually want, because they fail to say no when you're saying yes, they shroud themselves in this niceness and say girls or guys are bad. And there's nice girls too, so we can discuss that another time, but we're talking about the men today. And they'll shroud it in, these girls, they don't treat men right, and so on and so on, right? When really what they're really saying is, when I do something, these girls seemingly mistreat me. They don't treat me the way I want to be treated. But you don't know how to speak up for yourself. You don't have good boundaries. You don't know how to say no. Okay, all right, and it becomes manipulative at a point when you're dealing. Okay, when you're dealing with the opposite sex as a party, and what you send. Oh my days, it's so wild. I can't remember a conversation I was having this with somebody. You get so invested in your niceness that when relationships fail and become toxic, what you do is you go, my moral standing is at this level and your moral standing is here. Now, I'm just going to say this. A lot of women do this too, because y'all be always claiming you're victims in a situation with men. Don't be just looking at the men. Some of y'all do this as well, right? But in the situation with nice guys, what they do is when they get into toxic relationships, like Marshall did with Jacqueline, the other person becomes the problem. And they go, my moral standard is so high. I just wouldn't never, do what you did. And how they fight you is that they fight you through their moral standing. I'm such a nice person. I'm such a nice individual. I treated you good. Listen to what Marshall was saying. I treated you good. I did this. I did that. I did this. Without really looking at themselves and going, wait, hold on a minute. Why did I allow myself to be in a situation where I dated somebody who had all these red flags, who was toxic, who wasn't really in a relationship? Which is why I have to hold Iyanna accountable and I have to hold Jarette accountable, while we hold Marshall accountable and while we hold Jacqueline accountable. Because if you enter into a relationship with somebody, you are just as accountable. Now, you might not be as accountable, but you're accountable, right? Now, do you see what I'm saying to you? So no one's free, right? No one's free. So again, when you're listening to what he's saying about him being a nice guy, I'm like, okay, there's probably some manipulation behind that as well, right? You're going to try and use your moral superiority. You're going to try and put yourself as the perfectionist. You tend to try and create that moral standing high ground. But anyway, we'll come back to this again. Let's get back into the video.
I wasn't going to drink no more because I was done. I was tired. I was ready to go to sleep. I was done. Now, I've owned up to the fact that I shouldn't have never invited them to my crib in the first place. One, I've apologized time and time again to Iyanna about that. So that alone, was poor decision making on my end. And I understand that. I take accountability for that. Should have never happened. Secondly, everything that was said that happened did not happen. This girl said that we kissed and there was touching in private places, but no sex. None of that happened. Like, I didn't touch this woman. I didn't, none of that. They got here, we sat down. I was like, here's the bottle, here's the liquor, all that, you know what I'm saying? And y'all go at it, y'all have at it.
Now, if I remember correctly, listen, I would love to say his story has some validity, right? But my question is, didn't Iyanna say t-shirt and the panties on? Did she not say t-shirt and the panties on? Did she not say that? Did she not say t-shirt and the panties on? Did she not say to us that there was a picture with a t-shirt with her in the t-shirt and picture of the house and everything? Okay, did she not tell us that? So if there was that situation, why the hell was she in your t-shirt? I just want to know. right? There was no kissing, no touching, but she's in your t-shirt. I'm just going to tell you this, as a red-blooded male, if you in my t-shirt and I have a girl, maybe if I'm single, it might be a little bit more different, because you know what? I'm single. I might want to make you feel comfortable. I want you to, you can wear my t-shirt, and listen, look, if you were to come to my house, you'd have clothes spare, you have a towel, this and that, get yourself ready, all that kind of stuff set for you. But I'm single. But if I am not single and I have a girl and I allow you to be, I'm not about to allow you to be my t-shirt and things haven't gone down already, bruv. Yeah? No. I'm not gonna do that, right? Because first and foremost, I'm in violation of my relationship already. So I need to make sure I'm secure. Because I'm gonna make sure I'm secure. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave here with something. All right. Right. So you telling me that this girl came in, and he hasn't even mentioned this actually. He didn't even mention the t-shirt aspect, the photo about it. Never met aspect of the situation. He just mentioned about the girl's head. So I just so let's just, me, I like to play with the evidence. I don't like to do it without evidence. Let's just supplant the evidence again. I didn't say it. Okay. All right. I didn't say it. Our good sister Iyanna said this is what she said that the girl sent. Right. Listen to this.
When it was revealed to me that he cheated around the time that the show aired. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah.
So by the time we get to watch the show, that's when you find out that he cheated.
No, yeah. Well, around the time, it was a little bit after the reunion when I found out that he cheated. But he cheated the beginning of when the show first aired.
God damn.
Yeah. So I'm guessing the woman, like, she said she saw my picture in our home. She knew my address. She knew my apartment number. She had a picture of her friend in Jarette's t-shirt in our living room. Yeah. And I got it via email. man. Literally.
Wait. What the hell? Wait. What? Wait. Yeah. Now, I know, Iyanna, you gotta go soon, but listen, just sorry, wait, before you do, because wait. What do you mean she knew all of this information? Like, she's out here scoping the territory. What do you mean she knew all this stuff? I'm so confused. How did she know?
He brought her to our home. He brought her and her friend to our home.
Threesomes?
I don't know. Look, I don't know what his intention was. They didn't have sex, but they were kissing and groping each other in our bed. And it wasn't until her friend was in the bathroom, saw some of my things, and was like, "Do you have a girlfriend?"
Now, my thing is this, all right? My thing is this, yeah? Right? When he's telling the story, there's an important part here. The girl took a photo of her friend in Jarette's t-shirt. Why doesn't Jarette mention that in his breakdown? Why doesn't Jarette mention the fact that in the email, since he read it, he knows exactly what's in the email. Why is it that you don't mention the fact that the girl was in your t-shirt and sent it to Iyanna? Because how else would she have known? Why are you holding back information, sir? Remember, you have the email. He's reading from the email, right? He's reading from the email. So when he's telling us a story back, he's not telling us his own version. Like, oh, I forgot that happened. No. She found out because it was in the email. So what email were you reading?
And he drunkenly said,
anyway, sorry. Oh, wait, hold on. I think there's a little bit more. Wait, hold on.
I have a wife. And they said, oh, we got to go. Yeah.
Cool. This story that she's given matches his story. Right? But we're going to listen.
Went and laid down in my bed. Maybe like 5-10 minutes later, I hear, oh, hell no, girl, we got to go. This man got a whole girlfriend in here. Why he invite us here? Blah, blah, blah.
Wait. Listen. What do you say? Listen, hold on.
There's liquor, all that, you know what I'm saying? And y'all go at it. Y'all have at it. And I went and laid down in my bed. Maybe like 5-10 minutes later, I hear, oh, hell, girl, we got to go. This man got a whole girlfriend in here.
Pause. He said he went to lay down. So he went to lay down in your bed. So not the girl, but you went and laid down in the bed. Not the girl went to lay down. You went to lay down. Then you heard the girl. Okay, let's say no. Listen, guys. If he's lying in the bed, no. Still, guys, listen. Don't worry. We got him. You went to lay down. Why? You're here having a party. Why did you go and lay down? Why did you go and lay down, sir? Huh? With random girls in your house, you went to lay down. Without them. And then that girl went to what? The bathroom around the house. And she saw the pictures. Why were you going to lay down, sir? No, tell us. Why were you going to lay down? Okay. I know why you went to lay down. I know exactly why you went to lay down. We know exactly why you went to lay down, sir. You weren't laying down alone, which would again come back because what did Iyanna say? The girl was in the bed. In their bed. The girl was in their bed. But again, he slightly changes it by saying he went to lay down. He doesn't mention the girl laying down in the bed with him.
Why he invite us here, blah, blah, blah. And left. And that was that. That was that.
So the girl saw the fact that, he had a picture of a girl and then why do you invite us there? And they left. Okay.
What am I lying about? I have the whole ass email here. Like, come on now.
You need to show that email again, sir.
But it wasn't just them. It was my homeboy.
Let me see.
It wasn't just them. It was my homeboys too.
Let's see if we can get a little. Hold on.
I have the whole ass email.
We can't even see that, bro.
Here.
Here's me zooming in, bro. Damn. I know someone can do some work on this. There's someone who can do some work on this. You see, I've paused it enough for you. You zoom in when you get home, okay? And help us out. We want to see what that email is saying. Exactly what that email is saying. Maybe an anonymous tip. Somebody will send us an anonymous tip of the email so we can know exactly what was said on that email. Just saying. Okay? All right. Just wanted to say. It's true. It's only a picture of the email because it's in. You can see there's pictures on the bottom. So it's a picture of the email, right? Probably what Iyanna sent him in the first place.
Like, come on now. But it wasn't just them. It was my homeboys too. Like, they was just the only. I actually had to drive. I ended up driving her car because she was too drunk to drive.
No. See, this is where I see you get a little bit clever, right? He says it wasn't just them. It was my homeboys. No, but were the homeboys there? Were the homeboys in the house? Because you never mentioned them being in the house. It's very clever how you kind of slipped it in there. You clever, but you ain't that clever. You dropped the little part where my homeboys in there. But where were they? Were they in the house? Because you changed the story, right? You changed the story. Listen. Just listen carefully.
Yo, this man got a whole girlfriend here. Why he invite us here? Blah, blah, blah. And left. And that was that. That was that. What am I lying about? I have the whole ass email here. Like, come on now. But it wasn't just them. It was my homeboys too. Like, they was just the only. I actually had to drive. I ended up driving her car because she was too drunk to drive. Her and her friends. So I was like, fuck with shit. We all going back to the same place with shit. I'll drive. But was that poor decision making on my end? Absolutely. I apologize for that. And I was a man about that. And I was like, you know what? Like, I understand how.
So wait, so the whole time your homeboys are at the house? Because you didn't really say that. What you said was, where we started was, at the point when you started, it was you and your homeboys and the girls. But you ain't really mentioned they were in the house. And it's very clever because then you can't really hold you to it. Again, you're living in a gray. We can't hold you to it, right? We can't hold him to and say, oh, but you said your homeboys were in the house. He can say, well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that's what was happening. I didn't say they were in the house because clearly he hasn't said that. And that's my whole point about being playing in that gray area, just saying enough to kind of throw you off. No, because it's like, well, my homeboys are no. So where were they? Because it doesn't sound like they were in the house. Because the whole story, you've had the whole entire time to tell the story. You didn't start by telling us, listen. But first and foremost, I wasn't alone. I was with my homeboys, right? So you trying to use your homeboys because you're trying to make it a more plausible story and say, I've got credible witnesses who know that I didn't do anything wrong. But the reality is they weren't even there. It doesn't sound like they were there. Right? It doesn't sound like it. And I wouldn't want you to drag me into the situation. Don't drag me into what you ain't been doing. Okay?
This look, optics wise, like this shouldn't have never happened. I should have never invited them here. That's why I understand. But everything after that, I was accountable for what I did, but like everything else that happened, everything after that did not happen. And for this to come out now, especially for somebody that I really truly cared about, you know what I'm saying? It hurt. Because I've always been a person, like, I've never been, although my life is on public display, I've always kept things private. Like social media will only get one side of me, and that's the side that I allow y'all to see. Like, I won't put my business out there, whatever I got going on, like, you rarely see it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just a private person, you know, and I just feel like certain things doesn't need to be in the public eye. And then there's this follow-up email that, of course, old girl was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you want to know more details, like, hit me up and I'll let you know. The more detailed email was vague as hell and didn't have anything because nothing happened.
Pause. Now, he says the email that was a follow-up, vague as hell, had nothing in it. Read it then. Read it. Read the email. Since it's vague and has nothing in it, then read it so we can also know how vague it is. I want to know how foggy the email is. That's all. So since the email is vague, read out the email. Because you were happy to read this other email. So read this email. Because remember, this one's even more vague than this one. So read the email. Read the email so we know. Right? Because you presented evidence today. You presented the first email. Read the second email then, sir. Right? Because remember, it's not telling the truth, right? Okay.
Nothing happened. But I felt like from that point on, like there was doubt casted through the entire relationship or the remainder of the relationship, and it was just something that I could never come back from. Even though like I pled with her and told her like, yo, like I apologize a million times, none of this happened. Like I don't know what more you want me to do. Like I can only tell you like this is some random person. This did not happen. But the one thing I do want to talk about, and it pains me to say this, but it's like I
here it comes.
Me trying to protect somebody and trying.
Here it comes, because now he's fully fleshed out the fact that he quote unquote said he didn't cheat. You know, now he gonna do something exactly what our good sis Iyanna said. Iyanna said he gonna deflect and then he gonna bring up this story. Right? This was meant to be about you clearing things up. No, let's keep it a buck now. This is meant to be you about clearing things up of how you cheated, but he wanted to also make sure I'm not going down alone. I'm gonna take you with me. Okay? I'm gonna take you with me. Right? Because it's like this upsets me. I didn't want to have to go there. I don't want to have to go there. But we're gonna have to go there.
Trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep things private is it's tough, but I too went through a similar situation that she hasn't talked about.
Now pause. Now pause. Because this is where the saving grace, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Woo. You know what I mean? Like, this is the saving grace, because at this point now, our good sis Iyanna comes back into the picture, because she told us quite clearly that, you know what? At this point, Jarette is going to tell you what he's going to do. Okay? I'll play a little clip. Just remind you again
I'm coming to get
what she
you.
said.
And I was like, okay. But I remember trying to send him my location, but I ended up sending him his contact information. Drinking.
Let's go back.
But we were out, and I was
Sorry, I want to go for
expressing how concerned I also was, made him feel like he well, not even that, he felt invalidated and like I shut him down. And but the weird part is I went and I looked back at our text messages, and he texted me saying like, I just need last night to never happen again. And I remember in the text message I saw it, and I said, that will never happen again. I promise you, this is not a repeated behavior. That was a one-time incident. I will never drink that much again. I'm a tiny person. I have to just be honest about that. And then he sent me a kissy face.
Okay, so this is the part
where I had just met.
Okay. But sorry, pause. So that's what she spoke about, her situation, right? Her situation. She talks about how she was out, she had a blacked out, everything like that, etc., etc. But she also told us as well that this is what Jarette's going to do. Jarette is going to deny the situation. Okay, he gonna deny it, and then he then gonna flip it on her. Okay, all right. She gonna flip it on her. Tell the story. I don't pause it, right? He gonna tell the story about what she did herself, and then I asked her to clarify. What do you mean that you're gonna tell the story? What story are you talking about? Right. So by the time we realize, as she told the story, he's now coming to tell her about, oh, she hasn't said the story. She hasn't said anything. No one. She hasn't told the story yet. Bruh. Okay, bruh. So remember, I didn't know he was gonna do this. This is why I'm saying I'm calling Jarette out, because I had no clue Jarette was gonna say this. And she would have not known. All we know is that he said he was gonna address the situation. Right? That's all we know. Right? So he said, obviously, look, I've experienced something similar to this. So did she cheat, Jarette? I just want to know, did she cheat? That's what we need to know. Did she cheat? Did she cheat to you?
The month of our marriage, she was out with some of the female castmates. They went out. They were drinking. They were out at some bar. I was at work. I was working doing security that night, and she was out having a good old time. Nothing out of the blue. Like she was getting drunk. Fine, that's fine. Go ahead, have fun. So, when I get off work, I go pick her up. I'm calling her, no answer. Looking at her location, it's telling me she's at this one location. So I go inside this location, and I'm looking for her. Cannot find her. Call her again, no answer. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm just speaking my truth. But when I did find her, it's not a lie. Ask her, she would tell you. When I did find her,
and she did tell us. Now, how did he find her? Because her location was on. That's how he found her, right? Does that sound like someone's trying to cheat on you? I'll just be honest with you. Someone sent you their location. You know exactly where they are. That's how you found her. You found her because she had a location on. So she wanted you to come and find her cheating, basically. Because that's the only way you found her, right? That's the only way you found her, because she had a location on.
She was holding hands with another guy walking down the stairs. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? She was obviously, she was drunk. We went home. We got into an argument when we got home because I'm like, what is this? Why is this?
Now, what part of his story showed that he had a similar situation? What part of the story did it? Even the guy that was standing right next to her, did he say, "Look, me and her, we kissed"? Did he even tell him, "Hey, you know what? Me and her we've been hooking up. What are you talking about?" Did the guy say any of those words? The most that he said was, "Listen, I got this." So how does this compare to your situation? I'm not saying that it's not a violation for someone to hold hands when you've got a partner. We know it is a painful situation. It's not nice to come into, and we don't want to see that kind of stuff. It's a violation. I want to call it a violation. It's a violation. No matter what anyone says, it is a violation. You got a man, you shouldn't be holding another man's hand. Is it cheating? No, it's a violation, right? And so in this instance, right, when you saw her holding the guy's hand, what else did you think happened? Because you have no other evidence of anything else happening. You had her location the entire time, which is probably what? In a club? And y'all were messaging too. Come on. Come on.
Who is this guy? Why are you holding this guy's hand? This, that, and the third. And then the very next day, because I'm like, you know what, I'm not about to have this conversation. You're drunk, I'm sober. The very next day, we're having this conversation and I'm hit with I blacked out, I don't remember. Does that excuse you for whatever actions happen in between this time that you do remember, you don't remember? I don't know.
Now, what is the actions though? Right? What is the actions that you're actually talking about though? Because you don't know nothing. This is my point. You don't know anything because you didn't see anything. Like all you saw was him holding her hands. He didn't even tell you nothing. Like I said, did you see lipstick messed up? Did you see panties on the ankles? Did you smell pheromones, cologne? Did you see something? Like was there a condom in her bag or something? Was it like what was there, bro? Because I need to know this probable cause. At this point, someone walking down the stairs holding their hand it's even sounding more mad to you than it is to me. Right? We get it. It's a violation, but that's about it. So what else did you see that you felt like this was a situation? That's all I'm trying to figure out. What did you see? And your story aligns with her story.
Nobody's trying to figure out a story. This is actually why. Go ask her. Go ask her. She'll tell you. 100% she'll tell you. That was something that I had to deal with very early on. Some hurt that I had to deal with very early on. But you know what? I was just like, you know what? I'm still gonna work through this shit, figure this out, and try to.
That's some hurt earlier on. You mean she was holding hands, and that was a hurt you had to hold on for earlier on that you had to figure out. So he's trying to balance the scales with holding hands with inviting a girl back to your crib. My dog, come on. My dog, come on. Listen, I'm always gonna back the men as a man when it's right to back the men. But this, brother, it don't sound good. You didn't even tell us that maybe my bro saw her with the guy and doing something. All you told us was your bro saw them. He left them alone. Like, can I let me just say this first and foremost. And then maybe I have to go back to fully understand what's going on as well, right? And maybe I'll go back and maybe I can play it a little bit. I want to play the part where he said about his boy left her. Now, did he leave her with the guy alone? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. You know what I mean? If my boy, and that's my real boy, and his girl is with some random dude she met out, Am I going to leave them? So let's go back and make sure. I want to make sure I got that right. Okay. You know, I just want to make sure that I heard that correctly, because that don't sound right. That don't even sound right. Let's see if I can get that again. Let me just make sure.
It wasn't just them. It was my homeboys too. Like, they was just the only. I actually had to drive. I ended up driving her car because she was too drunk.
Oh, that's too far back.
On public display. I've always kept things private. Like, the more detailed email was vague. Some of the female castmates, they went out.
Okay, so female castmates from their season, I'm guessing as well. They were out as well. Okay.
They were drinking. They were out at some bar. I was at work. I was working doing security that night, and she was out having a good old time. Nothing out of the blue. Like, she was getting drunk. Fine, that's fine. Go ahead, have fun. So, when I get off work, I go pick her up. Calling her, no answer. Looking at her location, it's telling me she's at this one location. So I go inside this location, and I'm looking for her. Cannot find her. Call her again, no answer. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm just speaking my truth. But when I did find her, it's not a lie. Ask her, she would tell you. When I did find her, she was holding hands with another guy walking down the stairs. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? She was drunk. We went home. We got into an argument when we got home, because I'm like, what is this? Who is this guy? Why are you holding this guy's hand? This, that, and the third. And then the very next day, because I'm like, you know, I'm not about to have this conversation. You're drunk, I'm sober. The very next day, we're having this conversation, and I'm hit with I blacked out, I don't remember. Does that excuse you for whatever actions happened in between this time that you do remember, you don't remember? I don't know. Nobody's trying to figure out a story. This is actually why. Go ask her. Go ask her. She'll tell you. 100% she'll tell you. That was something that I had to deal with very early on. Some hurt that I had to deal with very early on. But you know what? I was just like, you know what? I'm still gonna work through this shit, figure this out, and try to get over this. Y'all funny talking about doing tit for tat. I don't know he was not helping her down the stairs. It's not. This is somebody that was with them. He met her out when they was out drinking or whatever. And I know this because one of my homeboys was drinking with all of them too. And then they all just separated, and she still stayed outside.
Your homeboy, what's he doing? Your homeboy, what's he doing? Why is your homeboy letting her walk off when she's drunk with a randomer? Why is your homeboy letting someone who your homeboy, if you want to call it that, your homeboy who knows you, knows her, knows it's your wife, and he just let your girl walk off with another dude who she don't know, is brand new. You can't even tell me a story like, oh, homeboy went to her and she told him to get off, leave me alone. Can't tell me none of that. So your homeboy didn't even try. He just saw them go off and went. It's not even looking good. It's not even making your story. It's not making it sound even better for yourself, really and truly, is it? It's not making it sound better for yourself. How can your friend just literally leave you leave? You know she's drunk, right? She's been drinking a lot. You probably can see she's a little bit tipsy. She's out of it. The thing would have been like this. Me as a homeboy, like, bro, your girl's here, bro. Maybe come and grab her, bro. If I can't take her home, all right, bro, come and grab her. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, bro, your girl's here, fam. Like, what time are you getting here? 2:30. All right, bro, I'm gonna stick out to 2:30. When you get here, I'll be here. You know what I mean? If I see homegirl with another guy, I'm like, hey, babe, where you going? That's the next man. Now, if she tells me to bug off, right? If she tells me to do one, then I'm gonna be like, oh, well, I did tell her. And at that point, my story to my boy is like, brother, I told her to come with me, and she pushed me off and said, leave her alone. She knows exactly what she's doing. I tried, but she said she ain't going home with me. All right, cool. Then it's a different story. We don't get none of that story. The only story you get is my homeboy was out with her and saw her with the dude. But your homeboy knows the girl and knows it's you. Right? Knows it's you. Now, listen, someone said about she blacked out. A wants her to hold accountable. But if, listen, hold her accountable for what, though? Right? The question I got asked is, for what, though? If I'm going to hold her account, listen, I don't think she should have got drunk to the point where she's belligerent and she's out of it. It's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous, right? It is very, very dangerous. So I agree that it's very dangerous for her to do that. But what are we holding her accountable for? Aside of drinking, did she do something wrong? Because that's the question we have to ask. He can't tell me what she did wrong. I can't tell him what I saw wrong because he hasn't said anything. He hasn't said anything. She hasn't come out and said, look, well, you know what? I was trying to make moves on him, or he was trying to make moves on me. She hasn't said that. You haven't said that. You said you saw her coming down the stairs. So what am I holding her accountable for, bro? I can't even hold her to nothing because you ain't mentioned nothing. You want me to punish her and put her behind bars, but there's no crime being committed. So what do you want me to do? Okay, so right. So she drank too much. Okay, great. She shouldn't have drunk that much. Done. I've held her accountable now. She should never drink that much. It's dangerous. Her life could be in danger. She can find herself in difficult circumstances. Right? So let's keep it at that, right? Hold her accountable, saying she shouldn't drink that much again. She should know her limits. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for her physical, her mental, her sexual health, because anything could have happened, right? She could have been kidnapped. She could have been assaulted. She could have been taken away, and this happens to people, right? So let's say that, right? So let's say that that's fair. Other than that, what else do you want to hold her accountable for? Because if you say your girl blacked out, are you telling in this situation, she didn't end up at another man's house. If she ended up at another man's house, I would be like, you know what, brothers, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. If she was at her brother, if she was at the guy's house, or whatever, and he found out at the house, I'd have been like, yo, sis, how we expect to believe you? But you're in the mother freaking club with your location on, and your boys saw you, and the castmates were out with her the first time. She wasn't even at a different. It doesn't sound like she was even at a different club. It sounds like she was in the same club. You know, you didn't find her in a different club. You found, it sounds like you sound, because you didn't say different club. So I'm assuming it's the same club. You found her in the same club that both your boy, her castmates left her alone. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So I'm not saying we don't have to hold her accountable for drinking. What I'm saying to you is, after you've done that, what else do you want to hold her for? Because there's no crime being committed. What crime do you want to hold her for? Those guys are in the chat that have come out of nowhere. What do you want to hold her for? I don't mind having a little back and forth with you, because I definitely don't mind telling you about it. What do you want to hold her for? That's what I'm asking. Those who want me to hold women accountable because we don't hold women accountable. What do you want to hold her accountable for? Because you haven't said what you're holding her accountable for. You said about a little bit of drinking. Okay, the drinking's done now. What else do you want to hold her for? Lovely. Thank you for this, Devon Anthony. Well, when she originally started, she wasn't with strangers, was she? When she originally started, she wasn't with strangers, right? She told us the story herself. She said, I wasn't with strangers when I first started. This wasn't with me, a random person. I was out with the castmates. Jarette just told us that. He knows that she was out with the castmates and she was out with her homeboy. Now, the only thing he could say was that everybody split and she stayed out. That's it. That's all. Nothing else. They just met. So I don't know what else. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? You're out about in a club and you want to, we want to, okay, she shouldn't be drinking that much. We agree. She shouldn't be drinking that much. We agree. She shouldn't be drinking that much. Right? Cool. It's gone now. You know what I mean? Devon said, if he walks into a bar and see my pissy drunk wife holding hands with a stranger, that would be a huge red flag. But would it be a cheat? Would it be cheating though? That's my question. We're not saying that it didn't happen. We're saying, is it cheating? That's my question, sir. I'm asking, is it cheating? Because you're asking me to hold her accountable. And I'm saying to you, but is it cheating? Would you class that as cheating? When you don't know the full story, you just saw your girl coming down the stairs holding hands with somebody. Okay, so he says not cheating, but if Jarette never showed up, but her location was on, they had already communicated. Do you know what I'm saying to you? He had her location because her location was on. So he knew where she was. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So if something had happened to her, right? Again, once more, what more do you want me to do? You know what I mean? Like he's trying to spin Jarette is trying to spin the story like it's a crazy thing that happened. Bro, your girl was out with friends. She got separated from the group. The group didn't stay with her. And then what happened was she ended up with a stranger, okay, who was also drinking with the group or whatever. And you found her with a stranger holding hands coming down the stairs. I honestly, I can't. If my boy came and told me this and said, oh, bro, like, I'm ditching her because of this, I'll look at him like, don't shut your mouth and be something silly. What's wrong with you? She came down the stairs holding a hand. That's all you saw. And you had her location. And she was out with friends beforehand. Oh, shut up. Don't be silly. You're going to end a relationship over that. I feel don't stop being silly, man. You know what I'm saying to you? Now, if he now come and told me that he found her at the guy's house, she had blacked out, I could have been like, yo, Nick, bro, I hear you. That's a little bit suspect. Is she now telling you that she's only blacked out? She can't remember anything about going to his house. But they blacked out in a club. You know? They blacked out in a club. Oh, yeah, come on. You know? That's what I'm saying. So just put that to bed, you know what I mean? Because like sometimes we have to put some things to perspective, you know. So I don't know anyone cheating out here who's got their location on. They're in the same club they were in originally. Yeah, it's no. You know what I mean? Like that's the level of madness. Let's not try and give them that space.
But the crazy thing is, like, I cared a lot about this person. I spent 16 months of my life with this person. I wasn't gonna waste my time for 16 months. Like, I was truly trying to make this shit work. The woman can say whatever the hell she want to say. That don't mean it's true. I can tell you right now that the sky is green as hell. That don't mean it's true. We're talking about the same woman who was too drunk to drive her own car that I had to drive. Like, come on now. But I'm not here to try to make nobody believe nothing I gotta say. I'm not trying to turn nobody against nobody. Like, hey, I wish her nothing but the best. But I just wanted to speak my truth and get my shit out there because one thing about me, like I'm big on character and I'm big on accountability. Like, I've been held accountable. I've held myself accountable. I've went back time and time again about every decision that I've done in this relationship or in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actively working on the healing and the growth that I need to so that I don't make these same mistakes in my next relationship. And that doesn't mean me constantly beating myself up about everything that I went through. No, like I've learned from it. I've understood. I've went back and forth about the shit, and I'm moving on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm truly on my healing journey. I know that I put myself in a crazy ass situation to make it seem like something happened, and I trust me, I know that shit looked wild as hell, and I couldn't even. It's like, how do you even like try to say that nothing happened when it just looks crazy as fuck? It looks crazy as hell,
but it's not just looking crazy. It's not like she came home and saw the girls there. The girls reached out to her. You know, you don't have the same, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't understand. I can't understand why he brought up the story. That's why I said that. That's why I'm saying that he's actually proving Iyanna's point all the way through. Because why is the story itself is not even deep. It's not even deep, right? But the fact that she prophesied that when he came out, he's going to say about the story. And when you tell us the story, it makes it pretty much 90% corroborates what story she told. And then there's actually no infraction. There's no infringement. Holding hands. Shit. You know what I mean? No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that there wasn't a little bit of a violation here or a breaking of a boundary here. I'm not saying that at all. But you said it like you caught her with a smoking gun. Like you said it like you caught her red-handed. Like you saw her lip locking my man on the stairs. Then I'd have been like, you know what? I hear you, bro. I hear you, bro. She definitely, you know what I mean, right? But all you saw was them coming down the stairs. So now you're proving her point, which is you only brought this story up because you got called out. That doesn't sound right. Come on, bro. You know, this is given very much manipulation in this instance. And I'll say why manipulation in this instance, when you don't want your image to be tarnished. So you bring up another situation to try and counteract what other person's done. Look, I'll be honest with you. When I was younger, I used to hold grudges, okay? I hold grudges in this particular way. I hold grudges in a way that if you do something bad to me, I'm going to let it go. But if I do something and you try to hold me for something, I'm definitely going to bring it up like, how you going to tell me about me when you did what you did? You know, I used to hold them kind of cards all the time. I'll be like, yo, you did this, so how you going to talk about me? Because I was so invested in my nice guy image that whenever you try to hold me accountable for being a bad person or bad behaved, whatever, I'll be like, that's not my intention. How you going to tell me about that when you did what you did? You know what I mean? You're bringing it up as a reverse, you know, like almost kind of like say, hey, before you talk about me, you talk about yourself. It's like, but no, the two instances are different, are separate, right? They're separate. They're separate. Why are you comfortable? No, just deep it. Why are you comfortable telling us about how she hurt you first and then telling us about a story about how you also did what you did? That makes it sound as if you believe that what she did was wrong. And so you did what you did because of what she did. You know?
nothing fucking happened. Nothing happened.
La tête, y'all already know. I'm la tête.
It's the last time I'm definitely addressing this. Like, there's nothing left for me to say about the situation. I'm moving on with my life. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly still on my growth journey. Looking forward to the next phase of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how I even got back here. But that's it, man. Y'all be smooth. I'm sure y'all finna be in my DMs like crazy again. Yes, I was we were going through therapy and everything, trying to make this work. We were in therapy like 3 times a month almost. I mean, we were cool for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like when this shit ended, like it was no beef between us. Like there was literally no beef between us. You know what I'm saying? Like we would still hang out. She would still come over here. We'd still kick it. Like there wasn't no beef between us. We was even up until like past couple weeks. Like there was never no beef between us. I could never hate her. I'd never have beef towards her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just choosing to move on with my life. Like I want her to be happy as hell. Do whatever makes you happy. Shit, go find a man that's gonna support you and love you the way you want it to be loved. And that's the thing. Like I really did love that woman, but I had to learn how to love her the way that she wanted to be loved, not the way that I wanted to love her. And that's some shit that you don't just get with somebody you just met. You know what I'm saying? And that's some shit that I learned after the fact. And I'm still like whatever relationship I get into next, like that's definitely gonna be one thing that I'm real cognizant about is like, how does this person want to be loved? Because the way that I show love and express love may not be the way that they are receptive to it and the way that they receive it. I'm not trying to be relevant at all. I'm over here living my life. Trust me, I'm over here living my life. How did this come out all of a sudden? Shit, when I woke up to all of these, to all these damn DMs and crazy ass comments yesterday. But you know what? I appreciate y'all for hopping in for a little bit. I am not addressing this anymore. I've said my piece, and that's that. I have no ill feelings toward her. Do I wish that things would have worked out? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But God's timing is better than my timing, so everything happens for a reason. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting me, continue supporting me. And for y'all, for everybody else that's haters, and it is what it is. God bless y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. And that's that.
It's not looking good. You know? It's not looking good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, even towards the end, I was like, bro, like, you ain't really even explain nothing, bro. You ain't really bring nothing to the table. Like, what's of addressing the situation? You ain't really address nothing, bro. Like, I mean, yeah. You know, you posted up on your profile, you know, I'm used to taking the high road, but this story this story that you added just makes it sound even more worse, bro. Like nothing you said was really kind of like saying, I was done dirty or, she did me dirty. Nothing, bro. Like, brothers out there, please don't be dumping your girlfriend over her holding hands. It's not that deep. Like, I'm not saying there isn't a violation attached to it, but I'm saying, bro, this ain't it, man. You know what I mean? Sisters, don't be dumping man after holding hands either. Okay, like it's nuts. People are holding hands down the stairs, and we're trying to end relationships and marriages. Like, it sounds like anything. He was looking for any kind of mistake. He was looking for any mistake to try and get out of that situation and blame her and not be the bad guy. You know what I mean? It's giving very much what us guys used to do back in the past as players. Not personally, I didn't necessarily do it. My dark arts was in different areas, but literally, this is giving what people did. I remember some of my guys back in the day used to do, right? They literally will misbehave, do all this stuff, and they want the girl to get fed up and end the relationship. So it's like, well, hey, you ended it. I ain't do nothing. It was you ended it. I mean, like, but the reality is you've all engineered the situation, right? You've engineered to want to make this happen. So, it's giving very much that kind of energy as well. In that particular incident, right? But like I said, unless she was kissing dude, unless she was groping him, you know what I mean? Unless she was doing something of some type of sexual nature, I'm struggling to be able to be like the big deal. Like, oh, or if you said, look, that was one incident, she was holding hands and blacked out. Okay, then I saw another time, her text messages. She was talking to a guy saying she wants to do this to him and do that to him. Oh, there was another time. Like, establish a pattern of behaviors. At this point in time, there's no established patterns of behavior. There's no established patterns of behavior. There's one incident which, gravity-wise, wasn't that great. Okay, all right. Look, let's just take it as it is. Let's just take it as she was holding his hand. Let's just take it as that. Take it as that she was holding his hand, right? And that's what he saw, because that's how he interpreted it. Even so, it's still not the heaviest thing to go through. Okay? Even so. Right? So again, it still wouldn't give the justification of what he's talking about in terms of she did something so bad. And the fact that you think it's even of the same weight as what you have gone through, something similar. Whew, brother. Come on. All right? Come on. You're telling me that you're healed, but you're scared to take accountability without having to drag her down with you. And the dragging is not really a drag. Right? It's not a drag. So for me personally, I'm gonna say this is it. Who's telling the truth? Well, since Iyanna came out with this before he even realized, okay, I'm gonna say it straight. I personally think that he the one that was moving maddest. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think he was personally moving the maddest. If that's all you can bring to the table, bro, you brought a knife to a gunfight. Yes, it's. No matter how you put it, I think context is really key here. What we're saying is, let me say this. I understand that when he saw her holding someone's hand, he might have felt stressed. It's fair to say that he felt stressed. I wouldn't deny it, bro. But there needs to be also an understanding that when he brings a story up, it's not a standalone story. He brought it up as in to say, before you talk about me, let's just rewind and remember she had a similar situation. But the situation he brought to the table is nowhere near the same. And there are so many moving components that are actually poor on the people around her, friends, your friend, castmates, your friend, which is why we're saying that the situation cannot be equalized. And the fact that he brought it up in a way to discount what he had done tells me how manipulative it is, right? It's manipulative because why didn't you release that story before? Right? Why didn't you release that story before? See, you waited for them to bring a cheating story up to you, and then you said, well, before you talk about my cheating, because before me, there was her. You see what I'm saying to you? So that's what I'm trying to say in a sense of that's where the manipulation comes in, because what you're really saying is, don't talk about my madness when you've done madness, which inadvertently proves that you've done madness. You know what I mean? By you saying, don't talk about my madness because she done madness, it's actually saying inadvertently you believe that yours is a madness, but you're just saying hers came before yours. So inadvertently you're proving the point. And since we're going to look at the first madness, we've broken it down, her madness or what she did. You've explained your side. She's explained her side. And the key witness here is a guy that was there. You never got no information from him. Right? We didn't get no information from him. You got no extra stuff people saying that she did X, Y, or Z. She hasn't got someone else's t-shirt on. Okay. She's not wearing his socks. Okay. She's not wearing his boxers inside out. Okay. All right. She hasn't even got his coat around her shoulders. So what is it that we're talking about here? But when we talk about your story, the key witness came out and told us you was cheating. So what do you want me to do about it? So for that alone, that tells me Jarette's lying, personally, That's my personal opinion. No one else's. My personal opinion, my verdict for today is to say his ass is lying. That's my personal opinion today. My verdict with the gavel coming down. Got. He's lying, Your Honor. And I believe he should be sentenced. You know? Just saying. And look, let me tell you this now. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little something. This is a little dark arts that you will know, but some of you know, but some of you don't know. Okay. Let me tell you a story. Whew, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Oh, let me tell you a story. In fact, let me tell you 2 stories. I've been involved in 2 distinct incidents where I have lied the shit off me for my boys. Okay? I want to tell you this straight. There's 2 occasions where I've absolutely flat out lied to these girls because I don't care for them. They're not these boys' main girls. I've lied. Right? So let me tell you the first story. First incident. My guy back in the day. Right? My guy back in the day. He was dating one girl and dating several at the same time. Right? But hey, that's you. It's not me. Okay, so I can't say anything. You know, and so you know, he ended up going going undercover. When I say going undercover, he went low. He went into hiding. Okay, because he wanted to deal with his other girls. Right. The same girl called me up, asking me, "Where is he?" Right. So when I saw her call coming through to my phone, I said, But I remember my boy already had a conversation. He said, listen, if she calls you, where am I? I'm in Greece. I said, you're in Greece. All right, cool. No worries. Girl calls me, says like, just want to confirm, okay, where's your boy? Just wanted to where your boy is. And I was like, oh, he's in Greece. Yeah, he's having a competition. He's doing some things. You know, he's just out there doing his thing. Yeah, he's out there doing his thing, right? Okay. Now, she was like, "Oh, but you know, I haven't seen him for a little while." I said, "Oh yeah, but you know what? He's training hard right now. Like it's a difficult period of time for him right now. Do you know what I mean? Just give him, just support him. He's in Greece. He's doing what he needs to do. You know, he's out here winning championships and titles. Like, just let him do what he's got to do. Yeah. So don't worry about that. Like, don't stress yourself. Like, he's calming. Now, here's the biggest thing. The reason why people believe me is because I have the reputation of the good guy, quote unquote nice guy. Let me put it that way. I had a reputation in my area as the nice guy. You know, I'm the nice guy. When I'm with my girl, I don't cheat. I stay faithful. So I have good credit in the bank. No one's expecting me to lie. You know what I'm saying to you? No one's expecting me to lie. But these are the times me and my boys, you know, I'm a back you. You know what I'm saying? Because I never know when my day can come. You know what I mean? You never know when my day can come. So now, you know, she's like, okay, cool. She's calm. Blatantly lied, you know. I know exactly where he is. He ain't in Greece. He's where I am. Okay. All right. And I've done that several times for him and that girl. Several times. Okay. So, you know, listen, we lie. The second time, can't say it too big because it's too thingy. But a girl asked me, one of my boys' girls asked, one of my boys' girls was talking to him on the phone. And he said and she asked him a question about where he was and where he was the other night. And before I could even do anything, I'm hearing he tapped my chest. Bro, where was I? And because it's so quick, he didn't pause. He just tapped my chest and said, bro, where was I last week? Was I not with you? Leading the witness into the question. What can I say? Can I say no? He led me into the witness stand and told me what it is. And he said, listen, where were you? Was I not with you? Once he says that, can I say no? I'm going to say yes. That's my boy. Okay? That's my boy. I'm going to lie for you, bro. You understand? Those are those times. That isn't today. Today, I'm a snitch. All right, because if you're married, I don't want to see that. I'm respectful of the marriage institution. If you do that, you're on your own. Don't involve me. Okay, especially when you got kids and stuff like that. Please don't involve me. I will not lie for you in that instance, right? But in this instance, when I was young, I was growing. I was in my early 20s. You know what I mean? Like, bro, at the end of the day, you know, I just said to myself, listen, bro, what if he said I'm with him, I'm with him. You know, she was like, oh, what was he doing X, Y, Z? I said, no, you know me. Yeah, you guys know me. I don't do those kind of things. So you know I'm not gonna let him do that. Come on. I was goddamn lying. I was lying the heck out of my socks, bro. Out of my damn socks. So when them tell me their guys are backing them, I'm like, yeah, I know we've lied before. So I really know, okay? I already know, all right? I already know that people lie out of their teeth. Okay? So in this day and age, I'm a grown man, okay, who understands that how these lies and cheating and mischievous behaviors actually, you know, affect people. I don't want to do that. Okay? I don't do that. Okay? It's happened to me on the reverse end. Girls have done the lie too. It's happened to me on the reverse end where you've asked the girl, where's it? Oh no, she's not doing this, not doing that. You find out she's doing that. Okay. Y'all heard my story about the cheating thing, my story. You've heard my story already when I told you guys where I was acting a fool. But the thing was, I asked friends, like, what's she doing? Oh, no, she's not with nobody. Like, I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know why she's acting up. Meanwhile, she was out here in the streets. So both men and women do this where they lie out their bloody skin. Right? So don't think it's just the men who do this. Women do this too as well. And they do it just as much as men. Let me not say as much. I don't know if I can say that 100%. I just know that women do it. Right? Just saying. So women are not absent from that. Now, someone asked a question: was Iyanna was she lying? I don't know personally. I don't think she was. She said she blacked out. She's gone blacked out. Only she will know, right? Only she and the guy will know. But the guy never outed her when he was standing there, so we will never know. And so I'm going to take the story as it is, as she told it, and as he told it. I'm going to take it as it is. There's nothing to lie about because there's nothing to be lied about. There's nothing happened, so there's nothing to lie about. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take her for what her word is. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, look, people lie, man. Both men and women, you know, lie. Now, the key thing is, you know, that the key thing, and here's my thing. And I'm not going to go too deep into this because I think this is very touchy, and I don't think this is not a conversation for this internet because it can get taken out of context real quick. But being in a place where you're almost blacked out is dangerous, right? You can be taken advantage of, and then having to explain that to your partner, and just to create an understanding here, ladies, as well, because some people were trying to come in my comments, told to me about if she was blacked out, then she wouldn't have never known, it wouldn't have been consensual. And I just want to just let you know, the same way you're not giving him any grace about him being a drunk and doing what he's doing, we have to be very careful what line we toe. And that's why I'm towing the line very carefully. I haven't spoken about this too much, but we see how quickly we're not going to give him any grace for bringing any girl home, even if he was drunk. Now, if he started saying he was blacking out, would we give him grace? If he had slept with a girl and said, I blacked out, I don't know what happened, and the girl said he slept with me, would we give him grace? So we got to be very careful. Now, since no one has said that she did anything, there's nothing to hold her accountable for, right? There's nothing to hold her accountable for because there's nothing that she's done wrong, right? She blacked out. She should have been drinking. That's it. But had something happened, could she use that she blacked out as an excuse? No, because you wouldn't allow the men to have an excuse that way either. If a man did that, would you allow it to happen? No. So we're saying that if it happened that way, we wouldn't give him an opportunity to say, well, you know, you were drunk. So, I mean, you were blacked out and you don't, we wouldn't be saying, well, he was definitely getting sexual assault. You'd be like, well, that's no excuse. So that's all I would say. It never got to that point. Okay. It never got to that point. Okay. So it never got to that point. And so we're not saying that. What we're saying is, let's just be very careful, right? In that instance. Because I think what we're trying to do is give her a hook off if it ever did happen. If, you know what I mean? If, we're not saying it's the same. You're missing what I'm saying to you. If the situation got to that point, that's what we're saying. Okay? If. Okay? So, you got to be very careful with these situations, right? So everyone should be conscious of themselves, be conscious, be conscious of, be conscious of what your situation, your surroundings. Please drink responsibly as well out there. I definitely do believe, Iyanna, if anything more happened, we'll never know. And that's next time, if you're going to cheat properly. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it's it's a situation we have to hold Jarette accountable, unfortunately, that's that situation is there. Jarette will have to hold that. But yeah, I definitely don't believe him bringing up the story of Iyanna's situation is an equivalent, and it doesn't let him off the hook as well. For this, that's true as well, Elsie. That's very true. That's very true. Get one of those things as well. All right, listen, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I love you and leave you. And listen, let's see what the internet says. You get me? We hoped he would be mature, come out, show us the healed version of himself, but him deflecting and using her situation to prove his point shows us that actually there hasn't been the growth that he's talking about. There's still a lack of growth in that area, right? He needs to learn how to do that. All right, growth in that area, because by you bring up the story in the way that you did, that tells me you have not grown the way you say you've grown. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button. Oh yes, tonight, yes, guys. Sorry, let me just put this here as well. We do have Anthony tonight as well. So later on, we have Anthony at 7 p.m. EST. We'll be live with him. I spoke with him behind the scenes. I said to him, I need him to clear up the Cynthia thing. He said to me, no problem. So you need to tune in, because he's going to clear up the Cynthia thing nice and clean. He's going to clear it all the way up. No more grays. No more grays. That note was off, but don't worry about that. It's going to be better than the note that I just produced. So we're going to get into it. Okay? All right? No worries, Elsie. I appreciate you. All right? So like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button for notifications of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. And stay locked and stay loaded. All right? So, look. Don't want to even do anything mad out here. All right. Appreciate you.